One decision, one moment, one choice. That is all it takes to change the direction of your life. Most people believe success is created by luck. Some believe it comes from talent. Others spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity. But they are all missing one truth. The biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you dream about is not failure. It is delay. Every day, millions of people wake up with dreams. Tomorrow, they will exercise. Tomorrow, they will learn a new skill. Tomorrow, they will build their business. Tomorrow, they will finally change. But tomorrow has a strange habit. It never arrives. Because when tomorrow becomes today, I'm too tired. I'll start next week. And little by little, those excuses become a lifestyle. Think about this carefully. A single day of procrastination may not seem dangerous, but one day becomes a week becomes a month becomes a year. Before you realize it, years have passed, and the dream that once filled your heart has slowly disappeared. Not because you weren't capable, not because life was unfair, but because you kept waiting. Waiting is comfortable. Action is uncomfortable. That is why so many people remain exactly where they are. They wait for motivation. They wait for confidence. They wait until everything feels perfect. But life doesn't reward people who wait. Life rewards people who act. The truth is simple. Every successful person you admire had moments of fear. Moments of doubt. Moments when they didn't feel ready. They moved anyway because they understood something most people never learn. Action creates confidence, not the other way around. Today, this speech is not about becoming rich overnight. It is not about magic. It is not about shortcuts. It is about becoming the person who does what must be done, even when it is difficult, even when nobody is watching, even when excuses sound reasonable, because the quality of your future depends on the quality of your daily decisions. And every decision begins with one simple word: begin. There is something dangerous about procrastination, not because it steals one day, but because it steals your future one day at a time. Most people never notice the damage while it is happening, because procrastination is silent. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't knock on your door. It quietly becomes part of your routine. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. And before you realize it, another year has disappeared. Now ask yourself an honest question. How many opportunities have you lost because you waited too long? How many ideas remained inside your mind because you never gave them a chance? How many dreams slowly faded because you kept saying, not today? The painful truth is this: life never waits. Time keeps moving, whether you move or not. Every sunrise gives you 24 new hours, but every sunset takes those hours away forever. You can earn more money. You can buy another house. You can replace almost everything, but you will never replace one wasted day. That is why successful people protect their time more than anything else, because they understand something most people ignore. Time is life. When you waste time, you are not simply wasting hours. You are spending pieces of your life that can never return. Think about the person you want to become. A stronger person. A healthier person. A successful entrepreneur. A disciplined individual. None of those identities appear overnight. They are built one decision at a time. One habit at a time. One action at a time. But every time you delay, you postpone becoming that person. The cost of procrastination is much greater than people imagine. It steals confidence. It steals opportunities. It steals peace of mind because unfinished work never truly leaves your thoughts. It follows you while you're eating, while you're relaxing, even while you're trying to sleep. A small unfinished task becomes a heavy burden inside your mind. The longer you avoid it, the heavier it becomes. That is why so many people feel mentally exhausted. Not because they have done too much, but because they have left too much undone. Imagine carrying a backpack. Every unfinished promise adds another stone. One excuse. Another stone. One delayed decision. Another stone. One missed opportunity. Another stone. Eventually, the weight becomes almost impossible to carry. Yet, the solution has always been simple. Take one stone out. Complete one task. Keep one promise to yourself. Because every completed action removes pressure from your mind. Every finished task builds confidence. Every small victory reminds you that you are capable. Never underestimate the power of small actions. Great lives are rarely built through giant moments. They are built through ordinary days, used wisely. One page read. One workout completed. One difficult phone call made. One promise kept. Day after day. Week after week. Year after year. This is how successful people separate themselves from everyone else. Not because they are smarter. Not because they are luckier, but because they understand more than intention tomorrow. Remember this. Your future is watching what you do today, not what you plan, not what you hope. Because every action is building the life you will eventually live. So don't underestimate today. It may look ordinary. Lives begin the moment you stop delaying what already needs to be done. Why do people procrastinate? Most people believe the answer is simple. They think procrastination happens because someone is lazy. But laziness is rarely the real problem. The real problem goes much deeper. Procrastination is often a battle inside the mind. It begins with fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of not being good enough. Instead of facing those fears, the mind chooses something easier. Delay! Because delaying the work gives temporary comfort. For a moment, you feel relieved. You tell yourself, I'll do it later. But that relief never lasts. A few hours later, the task is still waiting. Only now it feels bigger, more stressful, more difficult than before. And the cycle begins again. Delay creates pressure. Pressure creates fear. Fear creates more delay. That is how procrastination slowly becomes a habit. Now think about this. Have you ever spent an entire day thinking about something you needed to do, but never actually started? You worried about it? You imagined how difficult it would be. You planned every detail, yet nothing happened. By the end of the day, you felt exhausted. Not because you weren't, but because your mind never stopped carrying the unfinished task. That is one of the biggest tricks procrastination plays on us. It convinces us that thinking is progress. But thinking is not progress. Planning is valuable. Learning is valuable. Preparation is valuable. But none of them replace action. A book cannot change your life until you apply what you read. A motivational speech cannot change your future until you act on what you hear. Knowledge has power only when it becomes action. Look at nature. A seed can remain in the ground forever. It has everything it needs to become a tree. But if it never begins to grow, it will always remain a seed. Your ideas are the same. Your dreams are the same. Your potential is the same. Potential means nothing without action. Another reason people procrastinate is perfection. They want everything to be perfect before they begin. The perfect plan, the perfect equipment, the perfect timing, the perfect confidence. But perfection is an illusion. No successful person started with perfect conditions. Every expert was once a beginner. Every leader once felt uncertain. Every successful business once started as a simple idea. Progress has always been more valuable than perfection, because progress moves your life forward. Perfection keeps your life standing still. Remember this: the first step is rarely beautiful. The first attempt is rarely perfect. The first day is often uncomfortable, but every small action teaches you something. Every mistake makes you stronger. Every challenge makes you wiser. The people who succeed are not those who never fail. They are the people who refuse to stop moving. So the next time your mind tells you, wait until you're ready, ask yourself one question. Will waiting make me stronger, or only more comfortable? Because comfort has never created greatness. Growth begins the moment comfort ends. Today, do not wait for courage. Take one small step. Courage often arrives after action, not before it. And once you understand that, procrastination begins to lose its power over your life. There is one lie that keeps millions of people trapped. It sounds reasonable. It feels logical. And because it feels logical, people believe it. The lie is this: I will start when I feel confident. But confidence does not come before action. Confidence is the result of action. Think about the first time you learned to ride a bicycle. You were nervous. You were uncertain. You probably fell, maybe more than once. But every attempt taught you something. Every fall made you a little stronger. Every small success gave you more confidence. Imagine if you had waited until you felt completely confident before getting on the bicycle. You would still be standing there today. Life works the same way. No one is born confident. Confidence is earned. It is built through experience. It grows every time you do something difficult. Every challenge you face is teaching your mind one important lesson. I can handle this. That lesson becomes confidence. Now think about successful people. People often look at them and say, they're fearless. They're naturally confident. They're different. But they are not different. They simply took the first step before they felt ready. The speaker you admire once struggled to speak. The entrepreneur you respect once doubted their own ideas. The athlete you look up to once finished last. The author you enjoy reading once stared at a blank page wondering if anyone would care. Every master was once a beginner. The difference is they started while others kept waiting. Understand this. Action changes your identity. Every time you complete something you promised yourself, you send a message to your mind. I keep my word. That message is powerful because your mind begins to trust you, and self-trust creates confidence. Imagine two people. The first person promises to wake up early every morning, but every morning they press the snooze button. The second person makes the same promise. Some mornings are difficult. Some mornings they feel tired, but they get up anyway. After 30 days, who do you think believes in themselves more? Not because they are more talented, not because life is easier, but because their actions matched their words. That is how confidence is built. One promise one action, one day at a time. Many people spend years searching for motivation, but they ignore something much more valuable. Momentum. Momentum begins with one small action. Clean your desk. Read one page. Walk for 10 minutes. Write one paragraph. Make one phone call. Start with something so small that your excuses become powerless. Because once you move, your energy changes. Your focus improves. Your mind begins to believe that progress is possible. One small action becomes another. One completed task leads to the next. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Not through giant leaps, but through consistent movement. Never underestimate the power of beginning. The hardest part of almost every journey is the first step. After that, the path becomes clearer. The mind becomes calmer. The fear becomes smaller. Remember this. Whenever you feel stuck, you do not need more confidence to begin. You need to begin. So confidence has a chance to grow. Because action creates confidence. Waiting creates doubt. And every decision you make today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. So stop asking yourself, am I ready? Ask yourself, what is one small action I can take right now? Then do it. Because one action today is worth more than 1,000 perfect plans that never leave your mind. There is something many people misunderstand about success. They believe successful people wake up every morning feeling inspired. They imagine that disciplined people are always motivated, always excited, always ready to work. But that is not reality. The truth is much simpler. The people who achieve great things are not motivated every day. They are disciplined every day. And there is a big difference. Motivation is an emotion. Discipline is a decision. Emotions come and go. Some mornings you wake up full of energy. Other mornings you feel tired. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you question yourself. If your actions depend on your emotions, your progress will always be unpredictable. But discipline changes everything. Discipline says, it doesn't matter how I feel today. The work still needs to be done. Think about the sun. It rises every morning. Not because it feels like it, but because that is what it was created to do. Imagine if the sun decided to appear only when it felt motivated. The world would fall into chaos. Your success works the same way. Consistency creates results, not occasional effort. Anyone can work hard for one day. Anyone can feel motivated after watching an inspiring video. But the real test begins tomorrow. And the day after that. And the week after that. Can you continue when nobody is encouraging you? Can you continue when progress feels slow? Can you continue when no one notices your effort? That is discipline. Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings. Every time you choose to do what is necessary, even when it is uncomfortable, you become stronger, not physically, mentally. And mental strength is one of the greatest advantages a person can develop. Remember this. Your mind is always listening. Every promise you keep, your mind remembers. Every excuse you make, your mind remembers that too. Overtime. You become the person your habits create. If you repeatedly choose excuses, excuses become your identity. If you repeatedly choose action, action becomes your identity. This is why small habits matter so much. Making your bed, reading 10 pages, exercising for 20 minutes, finishing one important task. These actions may seem small, but they are training your character. They are teaching your mind that your words have value. And once you trust yourself, everything changes. Because confidence grows where discipline lives. There will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to delay. There will always be days when comfort looks more attractive than progress. But remember this. Comfort gives you pleasure today. Discipline gives you freedom tomorrow. Every successful life is built through ordinary decisions. Choosing to work instead of scrolling. Choosing to learn instead of complaining. Choosing to improve instead of making excuses. No one can make these decisions for you. Your future depends on the choices you make when no one is watching. So stop waiting for motivation to appear. It is unreliable. Instead, build discipline. Create routines. Keep your promises. Show up every single day. Because one day, you will look back and realize that it wasn't motivation that changed your life. It was the quiet decision to do what needed to be done. Again, and again, and again. That is the power of discipline. And that power can transform an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. Most people want big results. A better career. A stronger body. Financial freedom. A peaceful mind. A successful life. But very few people are willing to respect the small habits that create those results. That is where the difference begins. Success is rarely built in one giant moment. It is built in thousands of small moments that most people ignore. Think about a building! When you look at a tall skyscraper, you admire its height, its beauty, its strength. But none of that would exist without the foundation hidden beneath the ground. Your habits are that foundation. Nobody celebrates them. Nobody applauds them. But they determine how high your life can rise. Many people search for life-changing opportunities. They wait for one big breakthrough. One lucky moment. One perfect chance. But life usually works differently. Great achievements are created by ordinary actions, repeated consistently. Reading 10 pages every day. Saving a small amount of money every week. Learning one new skill every month. Going to bed on time. Waking up with purpose. Completing the task you promised yourself you would finish. These actions may look small, but never underestimate what consistency can do. Imagine a single drop of water. It seems weak, harmless, almost insignificant. But if that same drop falls on the same rock, day after day, month after month, year after year, ibanchu, ari, even the hardest stone begins to change. Not because the water is powerful, but because it never stopped. Consistency always defeats intensity. Many people work hard for one day, then disappear for a week. They exercise once, then quit. They read one book, then stop learning. They start a business, then give up after the first obstacle. Real success doesn't belong to the person who starts. It belongs to the person who continues. Because every small habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose to read instead of scrolling, you vote for wisdom. When you choose to exercise instead of making excuses, you vote for strength. When you choose discipline over comfort, you vote for the future you truly want. Your life is shaped by the votes you cast every single day. Not once. Not occasionally. Every day. Do not become discouraged because progress feels slow. A tree does not grow overnight. 4 months, sometimes years. Its roots grow beneath the surface where no one can see them. Only later does the world notice its height. your growth is the same. Some of the most important changes in your life happen quietly. You become more patient, more focused, more disciplined, more confident, long before anyone else notices. Trust the process. Keep planting good habit. Keep showing up, even when results are invisible. Because invisible progress is still progress. One day, you will wake up and realize you are no longer the person you used to be. Not because of one extraordinary decision, but because of hundreds of ordinary decisions made consistently. Remember this truth. Your habits are writing your future. Every morning, they write a new sentence. Every evening, they finish another page. And one day, those pages become the story of your life. So choose your habits carefully. Protect them. Respect them. Because the smallest actions repeated over time create the biggest transformations. Success is not built by what you do once. It is built by what you refuse to stop doing. Andozatto is the quiet power of small habits. There is one thing every person on earth receives equally. Not money, not talent, not opportunity, time. Every morning, life places 24 hours into your hands. No more. No less. The rich receive 24 hours. The poor receive 24 hours. The successful receive 24 hours. The unsuccessful receive 24 hours. Time does not choose favorites. The difference is not how much time you have. The difference is how you choose to use it. Many people believe they have plenty of time. They say, I'll start next month. I'll learn that skill next year. I'll chase my dream when life becomes easier. But life has a way of reminding us that tomorrow is never guaranteed. The clock never stops. It never waits. It never asks if you are ready. It simply keeps moving. And every second that passes becomes a second you will never see again. Think about your childhood. It feels like yesterday, yet years have already passed. Think about last year. At one time, it felt so far away. Now, it is only a memory. That is how quickly life moves. Many people spend years preparing for a future they never begin creating. They collect ideas. They make plans. They dream about success. But dreaming without action is only another form of delay. A dream only becomes reality when action enters the picture. Imagine someone gives you a bank account. Every morning, $1,440 are deposited into it. Whatever you don't spend by midnight disappears forever. You cannot save it. You cannot recover it. Would you waste even $1? Probably not. Yet every day, you'll receive something even more valuable. 1,440 minutes. And unlike money, those minutes can never be earned back. Once they are gone forever. This is why successful people protect their time. They understand that every yes to a distraction is often a no to their future. Every unnecessary hour spent scrolling, every excuse, every delay comes with a hidden cost. Not just lost time, lost potential. Because what you repeatedly do with your time becomes your life. If you spend your days learning, you become knowledgeable. If you spend your days improving, you become stronger. If you spend your days making excuses, excuses become your future. Time is always revealing your priorities. Not what you say is important, but what you actually choose to do. Ask yourself honestly, where did your time go yesterday? Did it move you closer to your goals or further away from them? Do not ask where the years have gone. Ask where today's hours are going. Because today's hours become tomorrow's years. Never believe you have unlimited time. Life is precious because it is limited. Every sunrise is a gift. Every new day is another opportunity to become better than yesterday. Do not waste that gift waiting for perfect conditions. Use what you have. Start where you are. Take the next step. Remember. Me? Member. One focused hour every day can completely change your future. One good habit can change your character. One decision can change the direction of your entire life. The clock is moving. Whether you act or not, whether you believe in yourself or not, whether you are ready or not, time continues forward. The question is not whether time will pass. It will! The real question is this. When 1 year
Will
has
you be
passed,
living the
same life, or will you become the person you promised yourself you would be? That answer is being written by what you choose to do. Today! There comes a moment in every person's life. A moment when they realize nothing around them will change until something inside them changes first. Many people spend years trying to change their circumstances. They blame the economy. They blame their past. They blame their family. They blame bad luck. But the greatest transformation never begins outside. It begins within. Your life is always moving in the direction of the person you are becoming. If you become more disciplined, your results will reflect it. If you become more patient, your relationships will improve. If you become more focused, your opportunities will grow. Everything begins with who you choose to become. Ask yourself one honest question. Who am I becoming through my daily habits? Not who do I want to become. Not who do I hope to become. Who am I becoming right now? Because every decision you make is shaping your identity. Every morning you wake up early, you become someone who honors commitment. Every time you finish difficult work, you become someone who follows through. Every time you refuse an excuse, you become mentally stronger. Identity is not created by words. Identity is created by repeated actions. Many people say, I want to become successful. But success is not something you chase. It is something you attract by becoming a person who deserves it. Success follows discipline. Success follows growth. Success follows consistency. Become the right person, and the right results begin to appear. Imagine looking into a mirror, not to see your face, but to see your character. Would you see someone who keeps promises? Would you see someone who finishes what they start? Would you see someone who grows through challenges instead of running from them? Or would you see someone controlled by comfort? The answer is not meant to make you feel guilty. It is meant to make you aware, because awareness is the beginning of change. The beautiful thing about life is this. Your past does not have to decide your future. Yesterday may have been filled with excuses. Yesterday may have been filled with fear. Yesterday may have been filled with procrastination. But today, you have another choice. Today, you can become someone different. Not through one giant action, but through one better decision. And then another, and another. Never underestimate the power of changing your standards. The moment you decide, I no longer accept average from myself, everything begins to change. Your habits change. Your mindset changes. Your confidence grows. Your future starts moving in a new direction. There will be difficult days. Days when you feel tired. Days when progress seems invisible. Days when quitting feels easier than continuing. Those days will come for everyone. But remember, Character is not built on easy days. Character is built on difficult days. Anyone can stay committed when life is easy. The strongest people stay committed when life becomes hard. That is where greatness is born. Not in comfort, not in convenience, but in the quiet moments when no one is watching. And you choose discipline anyway. Years from now, people may look at your success. They may believe you were lucky. They may think everything came naturally, but only you will know the truth. You will remember the mornings you wanted to quit, the evenings you kept working, the days you chose progress over comfort. Those invisible victories will become the foundation of your future. Never forget this. You are not trapped by the person you have been. You are only limited by the person you refuse to become. So, beginning today, choose growth, choose courage, choose discipline, choose action. Because every single day, you are becoming someone. Make sure that person is someone your future self will thank you for becoming. There comes a moment, a quiet moment, when life asks you a simple question. Will you continue living the same way, or will you finally change? That question arrives differently for everyone. For some, it comes after years of regret. Thus, it comes after failure. For some, it arrives in complete silence, while sitting alone, thinking about the life they could have lived. The truth is, your life does not change because time passes. It changes because you make a decision, a real decision, not a temporary promise. Not another New Year's resolution, not another sentence that begins with, "I'll start someday," a decision that leaves no room for excuses. History has always been shaped by people who made one courageous decision. The decision to continue when quitting seemed easier. The decision to begin when fear felt stronger than confidence. The decision to move forward even without knowing every step ahead. That is how every meaningful journey begins. Not with certainty, but with commitment. Look at your life for a moment. Imagine yourself 1 year from today. There are two possible versions of you. The first version continues making excuses, continues waiting, continues delaying important work, continues hoping that life will somehow improve on its own. 1 year later, nothing has changed. The same dreams, the same regret, the same frustration. Now imagine another version. This person decides that today is different. They begin with one habit, one promise, one action. They don't become perfect overnight. They simply refuse to stop. One day becomes 1 week. 1 week becomes 1 month. 1 month becomes 1 year. And when they look back, they barely recognize the person they used to be. The difference between these two lives is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not luck. It is one decision. Never underestimate the power of deciding. Because once your decision becomes stronger than your excuses, your life begins to change. There will always be reasons to wait. There will always be distractions. There will always be people who doubt you. But none of those things determine your future. Your decisions do. Every sunrise gives you another opportunity, another chance to become stronger, another chance to keep your word, another chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Do not waste that opportunity. Do not trade your future for temporary comfort, because comfort lasts for a moment, but regret can last for years. Imagine yourself at the end of your life, looking back, What would hurt more? Trying and failing, or never trying at all? Most people do not regret the risks they took. They regret the chances they never gave themselves. The businesses they never started. The books they never wrote. The conversations they never had. The dreams they never pursued. Do not let your story become one of regret. Let it become a story of courage. A story of discipline. A story of persistence. And it all begins not next Monday, not next month, not next year. It begins today, right now, with one simple decision. A decision to stop waiting. A decision to stop making excuses. A decision to become the person you are always capable of becoming. Because the greatest transformation never begins with a giant step. It all begins the moment you finally decide enough is enough. And from that moment forward, everything changes. Take a deep breath and think about everything you have heard today. Not as words, not as motivation, but as a reminder. A reminder of the person you are capable of becoming. The truth has never been hidden. You already know what needs to be done. You know the habits that are holding you back. You know the excuses that have been stealing your time. You know the dreams that have been waiting. Patiento. For you to take the first step. The question has never been, can you do it? The question has always been, will you? Because deep inside, you already have more strength than you realize. You have survived difficult days. You have overcome challenges you once believed were impossible. You have stood back up after disappointment. You have continued even when life tested you. That strength is still within you. Do not underestimate yourself. The person you want to become is not waiting in another city, not waiting for another year, not waiting for better circumstances. That person is built one decision at a time, one habit at a time, one disciplined day at a time. From this moment forward, stop measuring your life by what you intend to do. Measure it by what you actually do. Because intentions create hope. Actions create results. There will be mornings when your bed feels more comfortable than your dreams. Get up anyway! There will be evenings when distractions call your name. Choose your future anyway. There will be moments when your progress feels invisible. Keep moving anyway. Remember, the strongest people are not those who never feel tired. They are the people who refuse to stop because of it. Years from now, you will remember this season of your life. You will remember the day you decided to stop delaying. The day you stopped making excuses. The day you chose discipline over comfort. The day you took responsibility for your future. That day can be today. Not because today is perfect, but because today is real. And real action will always be more powerful than perfect plans. As this video comes to an end, do not let the message end here. Carry it with you tomorrow morning. Carry it into your work. Carry it into your habits. Carry it into every decision you make. Because motivation fades, but character remains. Ando, character is built by the choices you make when no one is watching. So walk away from this moment with one promise. Not a promise to anyone else. A promise to yourself. A promise that you will no longer postpone the life you truly want. A promise that you will act even when you don't feel like it. A promise that every day you will become a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more disciplined. Remember this one. Final thought. Success is not reserved for the smartest. It is not reserved for the luckiest. It belongs to the people who keep moving, long after others have stopped. So begin. Begin before you feel ready. Begin before fear disappears. Begin before every answer is clear, because every extraordinary journey starts with one ordinary step, and one day your future self will look back, not with regret, but with gratitude. Gratitude that you had the courage to begin. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If this message encouraged you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you're ready to keep building a stronger mindset, join us for the next journey. Until then, protect your time. Guard your discipline. Believe in your potential. And never stop becoming the person you were created to be. Thank you! And I'll see you in the next speech.